Fend is a producer, DJ, someone who likes music and likes going to raves as well. Mostly jungle music, sort of with the old school style, but mixing it with a little bit of new flair, a bit of new energy. Probably have to say some of the raves at the cause, they do things there, or they did do things there, was very just open to everyone. And you can just get down, dance how you like, move how you like, do whatever you want. I think that's what's missing from a lot of raving experiences nowadays. Also, shout out to Semtex the other day. That was one of my favourite raves in Brighton. I can't remember what it's called, but by GR. The 165 lick that he just put out, I've been listening to that on repeat. Trust me, shout out to GR every time. Focusing more on producing, more on playing my own tracks out of sets and seeing their reaction. Because sometimes I get a little bit nervous about playing my own tracks because I feel like maybe it just doesn't bang, so I won't rate it. But I think more focusing on that and pushing myself to produce more consistently and more of a like experimental style, like adding little random shits. I want to progress more into just sort of not really giving it a genre, more just being like, I like the way this sounds, let me put it with someone else that sounds nice, and then seeing where it goes. As long as it's got bass. I think it was a Blade Runner tune that my dad showed me. They did a remix from like, I think it was like 1996 or something. Sang Rolling. I wouldn't say it got me into jungle, but it was obviously like a starting point. Like when I first got into it, I would listen to loads of atmospherical shit. Like that was what really, I guess, captivated me with the genre, and then like from there, moved on to like the harder, more like Amen sort of shit with big bass lines and stuff like that. But yeah, it was more the atmospherical stuff that got me started because it sounded kind of futuristic. Janaway, T-Cuts from Mind, definitely GR as well. 568s, always. Also Cheetah, Bugsy Malone as well. Definitely shout out for you. I think it's important to keep a sort of balance between making something, like if you're making a tune for a crowd, you've got to think, is it important for me to make it the people that are listening nowadays would like that more, or something that's very incredibly experimental that I might make that maybe no one will like, but it was true to me. I think it's better to use what you know, which is the old school stuff, but then always bring that sort of flavour that you can just make it your own and add a little bit of something else, because I think that's important. Because if you're trying to replicate a sound, it's not really original and it's nothing true to you. You're just looking at something and then trying to make something that sounds exactly the same. It's not really that good, and it can have negative consequences from just doing that, because you're just copying really rather than being original. I think it will be looking more strong. There'll be a lot more people that listen to it, and there'll be a lot more sort of raves based around that, because I always love a jungle rave, but I wouldn't always find myself going to a drum bass rave. But I wish you could just sort of have it where people like everything and they go to all of the raves and enjoy it. But I think it's the only way is up really, to be honest, because it had its prime in the 90s or whatever, and now it's coming back, I think. But it just have that new sound. I'll be like, do you like break beats? Because I'm trying to break that back to break. Shout out to the Winston brothers for creating the Aim and Break. Shout out to Tim for always keeping it real on the vinyl releases. Shout out to GR for teaching me so much about jungle. And yeah, shout out to Singularity crew every time.